UFC 313 took place last night, and it was a crazy event. Saw my recap video yesterday. You'll know how I feel about certain events. But today's video, I wanted to go through and matchmake all of the main fighters that I actually care about, their next fights, who they should fight, and I'll tell you exactly why. Now, I know a lot of other creators have probably gotten to this before me because I unfortunately had to work a shift today. So if I have any of the same ideas, I apologize. Haven't checked any of those out yet. These are my ideas. Let's just get right into it. In the main event, obviously, Magomed Ankalaev beats Alex Pereira. Now, I think they're going to run it back, so I have that on the screen. I think it's going to be Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. They both kind of already agreed to it. Dana White even hinted at it, saying he's leaning towards a rematch at the post-fight presser. Usually immediate rematches are annoying, but with someone like Pereira, he kind of does deserve it. I think he's defended, 3 times? Maybe this was like his 4th attempt. He's a star. They'll probably let him get the immediate rematch, and I don't think too many people will be mad at it, especially because his fight was very close. But in case like Pereira decides he needs some time off, if they're going to do a match in the meantime, I think you got to capitalize on Magomed Ankalaev versus Yuri Prochazka. This is just like a backup plan fight. I think it's going to be Pereira versus Ankalaev. But if Pereira says, you know what, I've been super active, let me take some time off, Yuri deserves the shot, and I pray to God that Yuri beats Magomed. This fight would actually be insane because Yuri's not just going to stand there and leg kick him. He's going to make it a war. It's going to be a knockout one way or the other. I actually don't even know who I'd lean in that fight. And in another weird case, if Alex Pereira decides, you know what, I'm going to move up to heavyweight, I wish I could give him like the Tom Aspinall fight that we all wanted. But considering he's not the champion at light heavyweight anymore, if they do what they did for him moving up to light heavyweight, where he got a top contender in Jan Blachowicz and then got a title shot, I think you give him Cyril Gane. 2 strikers. This fight would be all on the feet. There would be no takedowns involved. A very technical, nice sound striker like Cyril Gane, point fighter, versus Pereira with crazy KO power at heavyweight. I actually think this would be a really fun matchup. Haven't seen a lot of people talk about this. I don't know if that's a talking point, but if Pereira goes to heavyweight, that could be an interesting matchup. I was also thinking Sergey Pavlovich. I don't know. I think this would be a good fight. I realistically think Pereira versus Ankalaev 2 is going to be what happens. In the co-main event, Justin Gaethje beat Rafael Fiziev by decision. It was a very fun fight. Now, they're talking about Gaethje getting a title shot, and I just think that's blasphemous. I say you do Gaethje versus Arman Tsarukyan, #1 contenders, co-main event, 5-rounder of a pay-per-view. They said they want to make Arman get another fight before he gets the title shot because he ruined UFC 311. Do him versus Gaethje, winner gets title shot. I think that's fair. Now, there is a chance that Arman wants to come back before Gaethje because Gaethje just went 3 rounds, broke his hand. If that's the case, maybe you do Charles versus Gaethje in the future. But Charles probably wants to fight too. This is kind of a tough one. Shoot, maybe they even rebook the Dan Hooker fight. Who knows? Yeah, the matchmaking for Gaethje's a little bit cooked because we look at the top 5. It's Arman, who, like I just said, I think that's the fight you should make, but Arman might want to come back before then. Same thing with Charles. Charles versus Gaethje 1 was super fun, so I wouldn't mind a rematch at all. But scheduling, I don't know if they'll do that. Then it's Gaethje. Then it's Dustin Poirier, which I would love Poirier versus Gaethje 3, but Poirier is going to fight before then, 100%. Then what? It's Dan Hooker. Maybe you just rebook that. #1 contenders, YOLO? I don't know, because it's just a mess at lightweight. Don't think he deserves a title shot, but they'll probably just do it. But if it was up to me, I'd do Arman versus Gaethje, #1 contender shot. The man that lost in the co-main event, Rafael Fiziev, still had a great fight. I was looking through the rankings, I was debating the Mateus Gamrot rematch. I still think that's definitely an option and something they could do. But I was looking at this card and I was like, hey, there's a lot of lightweights on this card. Scheduling, like, it works out. Let's just do Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. This fight would be electric. Bahamondes is a lot of fun, and so is Fiziev. This would be a war. I don't even know who I'd lean. It's kind of scary because Fiziev's not that tall, and Bahamondes is huge. It's a tough one, but it's 2 birds, 1 stone right here, matchmaking 2 fighters from this card against each other. I think it works out. Bahamondes coming off a win. Go up the rankings and fight someone a little bit higher ranked than you in Rafael Fiziev. And I would matchmake Jalen Turner, but he retired. So I guess Jalen Turner versus the Sofa. Like, I don't know. After that, Amanda no, we're not gonna talk she doesn't even deserve to fight. Maybe she needs to, like, fight a heavy bag and throw some punches next time so she is ready to strike in her next fight. Same thing with Yasmin Lucindo. Because, my God, pathetic. Moving on. The main card opener. I didn't matchmake Bobby Green, but I think at this point in his career, you don't give him these youngsters because they're just going to run through him. giving people closer to his age, people who are also veterans, people who also are kind of win one, lose one, win one, lose one, because it's just that time for Bobby Green. He's getting old, and he's not going to beat these youngsters no more. But from Mauricio Huffy, who got the craziest KO of all time, he called out Beneil Dariush, and I think they're going to do it. Pay-per-view main event. They're all the hype right now, the fighting nerds. I do think someone like maybe even like a Bahamondes would be a good fight for Mauricio Huffy. I would say because scheduling, but Huffy literally took 0 damage in this fight, so he'll be ready to go like next week. But Beneil Dariush was owed a big fight, and this honestly would be a very big fight because this dude's a lot of hype right now. So I say you do this fight. Why not? Pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view. Fight night main event. Give him the spotlight. Test him because Dariush has a very good skill set. You know, he's very well-rounded. I think Mauricio Huffy would probably KO him because these fighting nerds, how are they going to lose? And the last fight I match made was Joshua Van, who got a very impressive win on the prelims. I match make him against Tagir Ulanbekov. Now, Van deserves to fight someone pretty high up in the rankings after, you know, taking a dangerous guy like Ray Saruya on short notice. He schooled him. Van's looked amazing lately. He definitely deserves a higher profile fight. Now, I don't know if they'll do Tagir Ulanbekov because Ulanbekov himself is winning a lot. They might try to make him go up the rankings. And Asu Alambayev is also a very reasonable option because scheduling's very similar. He's coming off a loss. He's pretty high ranked. Well, he's like, top 10? I just think Van deserves to enter that like top 10 conversation. And he proved his takedown defense is good, so it's not like they have to be scared about shutting down this prospect with takedown threat. I think he'd school both of those guys. I really do. Joshua Van is really good. But yeah, those are all the fights I match made. I know I didn't do like Bruno Fajea, but I don't think anyone cares. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace.